Hey, what's up, everybody? It's your boy. I hope you guys are doing well. I hope everybody's okay. Yeah. So for this video, I wanted to talk about Avatar: The Way of Water. Now, there's going to be some spoilers here, so if you haven't seen the flick at all, come back at a later time. Yeah. So Avatar: The Way of Water. I saw it a couple hours ago. I want to say it's 4:15 a.m. right now, so I saw it at 9 o'clock p.m. last night. I saw it with my lady, and I very much enjoyed this movie. I very, very much enjoyed this movie. It was a fantastic, fun, emotional, and grand ride. That the movie was pretty much how I expected it to be. Uh, Before I continue with the sequel, let me just mention real quick that with uh, the original Avatar from 2009 is my personal favorite movie of all time. It just is. Um, I love that first movie. I peeped it pretty much any chance I could back in 2009 after it came out on DVD and Blu-ray. I have the DVD. I'm actually thinking about rebuying the first one on Blu-ray and without question buying The Way of Water on Blu-ray when that drops. But yeah, the first one is my personal favorite movie, as I said, of all time. And so I went into The Way of Water, and I gotta say, first off, it was definitely uh cool reacquainting myself with these characters. Because let's face it, it's been years, man. It's been, what is it? The first one was 2009. Let's see, 2019, 21, 2. We're talking 14 years. We're talking 14 years. That's a long time. That's a long time. And as a matter of fact, there was a long period of time where to be honest, I didn't care about following up on this movie because I just like with how much I loved the first one. I was I was just kind of being spoiled, and I was getting impatient with how long Cameron was taking to release the sequel. But anyway, going into this film again, as I said, it was cool reacquainting myself with the characters, and it was cool seeing Jake and Neytiri have their kids, and then they had the character of Spider, who was actually the son of Quaritch, and yeah, it was. Spider was interesting because obviously he was human, and he learned the Navi language, and at the end of the towards the end of the film, he plays a real prominent role in trying to stop Quaritch and his goons from doing the crappy shit that they've been doing, you know. But it was cool seeing Jake again. It was cool seeing Terry, and as I said, their kids and whatnot. And with Quaritch, I want to say because I remember I read an article where Cameron had said, and the actor who plays Quaritch, they had both said in separate articles, as a matter of fact, that um, about how his character was going to be brought back. And when I heard about it the first time, I was like, well, how were they going to bring this guy back? And how they ended up doing it was pretty ingenious. The way Cameron did it. The whole thing about basically the way I saw it was like, Quaritch's new avatar, avatar body he was a mental clone. He was basically a mental clone with all of Quaritch's memories before his death in a new avatar body. And I think what was also cool about it was, it was a way for Quaritch to kind of get some revenge and because you had that epic battle that they where they faced each other at the end of the first movie, and so to see them go at it again, but this time Quaritch is an Avatar, as a Navi, it was epic, and then there's that showdown at the end of the movie where they finally cross paths, and he's Quaritch is holding basically Sully's kids, hostage and whatnot. That was an intense and crazy scene, and I like how, because the other characters had to get established, Sully's middle son, he had to get developed, and there was that whole thing where he was bonding with the that specific whale, I guess, from the ocean. Um, and then the tribe that they meet, they have a problem with him bonding with the whale because the whale is, an outcast and all that, and so uh, yeah, going back to the Quaritch thing, it was crazy, and it was epic, kind of seeing both of them dudes go at it, and you just waiting for Sully to kick this dude's ass and whatnot, and it was intense. It was just intense, man, and of course by this point, since it's been so long, since the last one, it would only make sense that Sully and Neytiri would have some kids, and of course their kids are half breeds. So they have more fingers on their hands than they should. I think their tails are kind of shorter than they're supposed to be, and when they meet the other tribe from the water, his Jake's middle son, he starts bonding with the kids from the other tribe, and they giving him a hard time, kind of like a callback to the first movie, and then he starts bonding with the daughter of the of the guy who runs the other clan, and so yeah, all that stuff was good, all that stuff was great, and the movie's long, but a movie of this caliber, it needs to be long. It can't be short. A movie of this caliber needs to take its time and tell its story. And there was also the thing about the frame rate. The frame rate would change here and there throughout the movie, and then for long stretches of time. And I didn't mind it. I was expecting it, and because I was hearing about it, and I was like, I don't mind. I don't mind. It made the movie look fluid. It just made the movie look fluid. And again, I got to go back to Quaritch again. There was that scene in the first. I'm sorry, there was a scene in Way of Water where he goes back to the battlefield from the end of the first movie where he fought Sully, and then his goons are, he's looking at a visual represent. He's looking at a recording from the end of that fight, and then going to the end of it where Neytiri shot him with the arrows, and so he's looking at the arrows, he's looking at his mech suit, and he actually grabs his own skull. Quaritch grabs his own human skull and then crushes it, which I thought was powerful imagery. And yeah, man, I love this movie, man. I gotta see if I can go see it again, and because I never saw the first one in theaters. I only saw it after it came out on video, on DVD and Blu-ray. So again, I love this movie. I had a blast with it. I just thought I'd give you guys my quick. The ending of the movie was sad. It kind of choked me up a bit. When Jake and Neytiri, when they go back in their memories of when his oldest son, who actually died, going towards the end of the movie, his oldest son dies, and yeah, so he goes, Jake, at the end of the movie, Jake and Neytiri, they go back, they connect with AY, and they relive uh, a specific past memory of when he was learning how to hunt. And it's sad. It's sad. It kind of choked me up a little bit. It was powerful. And so yeah, I'm gonna have to rebuy the first Avatar on Blu-ray, and then when Way of Water comes out, I'm gonna have to buy that on Blu-ray. That these Avatar movies are movies that you have to own. These are must-own movies in my opinion. And I'm trying to think what else was there. Seeing Sigourney Weaver come back the way she did, was cool, and it was cool, and you could recognize some of the goons from Quaritch's Squad from the first movie with their new Avatar bodies, with their new Na'vi bodies, and all that. And yeah, this is a solid flick, man. Solid flick. I had a good time with it. As I said, I went to see it with my lady. She had a good time as well, and yeah. So I just thought I'd give you guys my quick thoughts on Avatar: The Way of Water. All right, guys. See you next time.